New York City, the city that never sleeps. An island of steel and glass, a symphony of sirens and ambition. We think of skyscrapers piercing the clouds, yellow cabs painting the streets in streaks of light, and a slice of pizza on every corner. It's a global hub of finance, fashion, and culture. But a farm? In the heart of this concrete metropolis? The idea seems almost absurd. New York is a city of consumers, not cultivators. Every single day, millions of tons of food are trucked, flown, and shipped in from thousands of miles away. A complex, fragile supply chain that feeds the 5 boroughs. But what if that entire system, the very foundation of how this city eats, is about to be completely revolutionized from the inside out? Because beneath the relentless rhythm of the city, something extraordinary is happening. Forget the penthouses and the corner offices. We have to go down, past the street-level hustle, deeper than the subway tunnels that snake through the earth like metallic roots. Down here, in the forgotten corners and abandoned basements of the city, a secret world is glowing in the dark. It's a farm. But not like any farm you've ever seen. There's no sun, no soil, no tractors. Instead, there's the quiet hum of advanced technology and an ethereal purple-pink light bathing everything in a futuristic glow. Here, rows upon rows of vibrant green life, crisp lettuce, spicy arugula, fragrant basil, are thriving, stacked vertically towards the ceiling, in a place where logic says nothing should grow. This is salad, grown in a subway-adjacent vault. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a novelty. It's not just about growing tastier kale for a niche market. This is a glimpse into the future, a radical new answer to one of humanity's oldest questions. How will we feed ourselves? As our cities grow larger and our climate becomes more unpredictable, the old ways of farming are being pushed to their limits. This subterranean agriculture represents a paradigm shift. It's about slashing food miles from thousands to mere feet. It's about using 95% less water than traditional farming. It's about growing fresh, pesticide-free produce year-round, completely immune to droughts, floods, or freezes. It's a preview of how our future megacities might not just survive, but thrive. Over the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the curtain on this hidden revolution. We'll meet the visionary entrepreneurs who are turning forgotten urban spaces into fertile ground. We'll talk to scientists and city planners who see this as a critical piece of our urban infrastructure. We'll explore the cutting-edge tech that makes it all possible, from AI-managed lighting to robotic harvesting. And we'll ask the big question, could this be more than just a solution for our food system? Could it be your next billion-dollar idea? The intersection of technology, real estate, and agriculture is creating one of the most exciting and potentially lucrative industries of the 21st century. This is the story of how we're learning to farm in the dark, to feed the future. The question is, are you ready to dig in? Here's the deal. Cities are terrible at food supply. Millions of mouths, but most of the fresh stuff is trucked in from hundreds of miles away. That means higher prices, tons of carbon emissions, and whole neighborhoods where fresh produce is harder to find than Wi-Fi on the subway. So the real question is, how do you feed a megacity without relying on farmland miles away? Some futuristic thinkers in NYC said, forget rooftop gardens, let's go underground. They grabbed an abandoned basement and turned it into a glowing sci-fi farm. No soil, no sunlight, just hydroponics and LED lights tricking plants into thinking they're chilling on a beach in Cancun. The result? 90% less water, 0 pesticides, year-round harvests. Basically, it's the Tesla of farming minus the recall notices. Step inside and it feels more like a rave for vegetables than a farm. Pink and purple LEDs everywhere. Racks of kale and mushrooms stacked to the ceiling. Every plant has sensors babysitting it. Light, water, nutrients, nothing goes to waste. Forget farm to table. This is farm to plate before your Uber even arrives. And here's where it gets spicy. This isn't just about growing cool lettuce in a skyscraper. It's a blueprint for the future of food. A replicable, scalable model for urban sustenance. Think about it. If you can make this work in Manhattan, the land of sky-high rents and logistical nightmares, you've cracked the code. You've proven the model can thrive under the most extreme economic pressure. From there, the world is your greenhouse. Imagine retrofitting the skeletons of old auto plants in Detroit, turning the Rust Belt into a new green belt. Picture forgotten tunnels beneath London, humming not with trains, but with life, feeding a city from below. Envision gleaming towers of green in the deserts of Dubai, achieving total food sovereignty where before there was only sand. This is agricultural technology as a plug-and-play solution, a franchise model for feeding humanity, adaptable to any city, any climate, anywhere. But let's be clear, the system isn't perfect, not even close. And that's the best part. These aren't roadblocks, they're gold mines of opportunity. First, the elephant in the room, energy. The power bill for these vertical farms can be astronomical. The challenge isn't just to lower the cost, but to revolutionize the source. Can you integrate them seamlessly with renewable grids? Can you invent a new generation of hyper-efficient, cool-running LEDs that mimic the full solar spectrum for a fraction of the power? Then there's the monumental task of scaling. We've mastered leafy greens, but humanity can't live on kale alone. The next frontier is scaling crop diversity. How do we engineer systems to economically grow staple crops like wheat, rice, corn, or potatoes indoors? Solving that doesn't just win you a market, it rewrites the rules of global agriculture. And finally, distribution. You're growing the freshest food in history, literally feet from the consumer. How do you perfect that last mile? We need AI-driven logistics platforms that eliminate waste, smart packaging that tells you the optimal time to eat, and entirely new retail models that connect farm to table in minutes, not days. Translation: this entire space is wide open, begging for the next wave of innovators. This isn't just a job for agronomists. We need hardware hackers to build the robots and the lights. We need software gurus to write the code that runs these automated ecosystems. We need bioengineers to design seeds optimized for indoor life, and business visionaries to invent the models that bring this to every neighborhood. This is a multi-trillion-dollar industry in its infancy, a technological revolution hiding in plain sight. The problems are clear, the market is massive, and the mission is critical. The Elon of food tech, the Jobs of agriculture, could literally be watching this right now, sketching an idea on a napkin. The question is it you? Imagine a world where every city grows its own food. A world without the staggering inefficiency of our current food system. Right now, the average meal travels over 1,500 miles to get to your plate. That's a colossal carbon footprint stamped on every bite. Think of the fleets of diesel trucks hauling lettuce across the country, burning fossil fuels, while the produce loses up to 45% of its nutritional value on the road. We've built a system where freshness is a luxury and waste is an accepted cost. But what if we could shrink that 500-mile journey down to just a few city blocks? What if we could flip the script entirely? This is the promise of hyper-local urban agriculture. We're talking about food that is cleaner, fresher, and profoundly healthier. Fresher because it's harvested at the peak of ripeness, often just hours before it's eaten. You can taste the difference, the snap of a lettuce leaf, the sweetness of a strawberry. It's a sensory experience that supermarket produce, picked green and ripened with gas, can't replicate. And healthier because that peak freshness means peak nutrition. The vitamins and antioxidants that degrade during transit are all there, locked in and ready to fuel our bodies, not lost in a warehouse. And it gets better. This food is also fundamentally cleaner. In a controlled indoor environment, there's no need for pesticides or herbicides. There's no agricultural runoff polluting our rivers. It's a closed-loop system of pristine purity. Environmentally, the benefits are staggering. Vertical farming uses up to 95% less water than traditional field farming, a game changer for a world facing water scarcity. It also drastically reduces land use. A single acre of a vertical farm can produce the equivalent of hundreds of acres of conventional farmland. We could rewild vast tracts of land while feeding our cities more efficiently. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but is it cheaper? That's the billion-dollar question, and the answer is complicated, but optimistic. Right now, the high-tech infrastructure and energy costs can make some produce more expensive. But that's changing, fast. As technology scales, renewable energy becomes cheaper, and automation streamlines operations, costs are plummeting. When you factor in the elimination of long-haul transportation, reduced spoilage, and water savings, the economic case becomes incredibly compelling. The goal is to make fresh, healthy food accessible for everyone. So next time you're in New York, remember, above ground, it's the city that never sleeps, a concrete jungle of ambition and energy. But underground, it's the city that never stops growing. Beneath the rumble of the subway and the labyrinth of utility tunnels, a quiet revolution is taking root. In forgotten spaces, old warehouses, abandoned subway stations, pioneers are building the farms of the future. Using technologies like hydroponics, where plants grow in nutrient-rich water, and aeroponics, where roots are misted with a nutrient fog. They are creating year-round oases of green, immune to seasons, droughts, or floods. This isn't just about providing boutique salads to foodies. This is about food justice. It's about dismantling food deserts, urban areas where residents have little access to affordable fresh food. By placing these farms directly within communities, we can improve public health and create a direct connection between people and their food. It also cultivates a new generation of jobs. The urban farmer of tomorrow is a technician, a data scientist, and an engineer, managing complex systems to optimize growth and yield. The innovation doesn't stop here. The future of these farms is intertwined with AI and robotics. Imagine AI algorithms constantly adjusting light spectrums and nutrient mixes for each plant, maximizing flavor and nutrition. Picture autonomous robots planting, monitoring, and harvesting crops 24/7 with surgical precision. We're on the cusp of creating fully autonomous food production systems. The biggest challenge remains energy, but with integration of renewable power, even that hurdle is becoming smaller every day. This is just one hidden innovation, but trust me, the future is packed with more. That's why we created WTF Future, Hidden Tech and Secret Innovations. We're here to pull back the curtain and uncover the wildest, weirdest ideas shaping tomorrow. From buildings that breathe to data stored in DNA, we're diving deep. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, subscribe and stick around. The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we build. And hey, if you get inspired and end up building the next underground farm empire, don't forget who planted the seed.